Well, now on this board, I'm going to share with you 4 types of money. Again, I'm going to share with you 4 types of money. And guess what? I'm going to still show you how to get all of them, meaning all the types of the money that I'm going to share with you. In case you didn't know, by the way, money bear the same different names and they have different identities. And in case you're watching me for the first time, this is Good Joseph, and I share anything related to money, and I post a video each and every day. That's the reason why you should go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new good video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. Let's get all the business now. Money type number 1, or money A. There is money called the S money. The S money. Now, the S money here stands for sweat. Okay, the sweat money. What does the sweat money means? The sweat money simply means that money that you trade your time, skills, and energy. You have to go out there. It's a money that you earn it actively. For example, let's say you are employed. You have to show up to your job from 9 to 5. Sometimes you have to show up from 6 to 6 or 6 to 8 or 6 to 10 or whichever the time. You are a waitress, you are a teacher, you are a doctor, you are an engineer, you are employed, you are a HR. That money that you get when you trade your time, the energy, and the skills is what we call the sweat money. The reason why it's called the sweat money is the money that you have to be there actively for you to earn it. And it's usually accompanied with emotions. By the way, if you didn't know, the sweat money comes with what we call the emotions. Are we together? And these emotions are the ones that you find people are usually use when they're actually spending this money. So it's called the sweat money. Sweat money is that money that you need to have your time, be there, work, do everything. So this sweat money, one thing that you should know is that one thing, it comes with the emotions. Why? Because you get tired when you're working for that particular thing that you're doing. Number 2, this sweat money, you probably understand that it's the money that you earn, not pursuing your passion. Not everyone actually get this sweat money when they pursue their passion. You find people just doing it for the sake of, you know what, I have to pay my bills. For example, the job that you are in right now, you are doing it just because, hey, you have no options. You have to do it. You have to pay your bills. That's why you even anyway, let me not go there. So the point is, you find this sweat money that you get in most cases is usually limited. What does it mean? Most cases usually pays your bills. Are you together? And those, or let me just use the term sustainables. It just actually bears for what we call the sustainables. And then most of the people, they struggle to create wealth using the sweat money. And it is very, very hard. Why? Because of its nature. It is limited. If you are employed, if you work from 9 to 5, all your productive hours is gone. So therefore it means you actually, let's say for example, you earn, say, for example, if you go to America, they pay you $15, $15 per hour. So you trade your whole hour for the $15. Let's say humanly possible, you can work, say, for 10 hours. If you work for 10 hours, you get yourself $150 in that particular day. And of course, if you were to use this $150, do all your bills and what have you, you realize it becomes very hard to actually create wealth with this amount of money. And some people tend to think like, I can use this sweat money to save it, then one day miraculously I'll be able to get wealth. No. Am I saying that the S money or the sweat money or the earned salary is actually is what we call useless? No, it is not. There are some of the strategies that you can use to actually acquire this kind of wealth using this amount of money. So the first money, the primary money, is called the S money or the sweat money. Are we together? Now, to acquire this money, obviously it's simple. Go to school, get good grades, secure that job, and you have the thing. If you don't get the jobs, you can do whatever the job is available, and you can be able to get this amount of money. But I've said be very careful if this is the money that you're earning, because in most cases is usually limited. And if it's actually enough, you couldn't be seeing. For example, right now I'm making this video, there's some rumors in Kenya that the doctors are about to go to strike. You find that teachers go to strike. You find like different workers go to strike because they believe that the money that they are getting is not enough to actually cater for their bills due to its nature of limited. Okay, now we go to the next phase of money, or the next type of money. And the next type of money is none other than having the money called that was S money. Okay, and then we have the second money. This is called the U money. Okay, what is U money? This is kind of funny. U money is actually a utopian money. What does it mean? This is that figure of money that everyone has it in their head. And they usually think like once they get that amount of money, all their problem is gone. They actually be able to achieve all their dreams and what have you. For example, maybe perhaps where you are, you just feel like if I can get $1 million, then I think like all my problems is gone. And then someone else be like, what? If I earn a salary of 300,000, this life will be so easy for me. It will be so great. There is always that money that usually, most of the people usually have it at the back of their head. Are we together? And the funny thing is that whether successful or not successful, everyone has this money. But the problem is 98% of humanity, 98% of humanity will never, this is a bit disheartening, will never get to see it. They will never get to see it. They will never get to see it. Why? You find like everyone dreams, but only 2% will actually achieve their utopian money. Why? This utopian money. See, a utopia is a particular place that people believe that it's so good, everything is perfect, systems are working, it's so good, effortlessly, and such kind of a thing. So the same case applies when there's money. So if you have that utopian money, it's the figure that you work around with. You just feel like, hey, you know, people who earn a salary of 1 million per month, they usually make a lot of money. They are so good. Their life is so wonderful. If you go to their lives, you realize something else. They also have some people whom they do what? They sort of think about those who earn 10 million, those who earn a billion, those who, like this utopian money, you find most of the people, they work with it. And this utopian money, it is so great to have that figure in your head. It is so great to have, because we say for you to be successful, you have to be delusional. Are we together? Being delusional, you have to be sort of a delusion. To most of the people, if you tell them, like, for example, let's say when I was, okay, let me not use my example. Let's go to say, like, let's say 1919. 1919, we didn't have any aeroplanes, okay? And then, can you imagine this? Someone has never seen an aeroplane in their life. They have never been an aeroplane in the existence of the earth. And then somebody by the name Wright brothers, they were thinking about coming up with an aeroplane. And then they show up to people and then they tell them, I'm thinking about coming up with something that will be flying in the air and that will be carrying people from continent to the continent. What do you think people will view that guy? They will laugh because we've never seen something like that. It violates all the principles as we know it. Are we together? But voila! From 1920 to 1921 or whatever, and up to date, we have our gadgets and devices and things that just flies in the air and they carry people from one continent to the other. So for you to be successful, you have to be delusional to some extent. So this utopian money, there's nothing wrong. See, everyone has this utopian money, but the problem is they don't know how to go by so that they can be able to achieve this money. They just have it in their head. They don't know the formula and such kind of a thing. Apparently, only 2% of people, they are ready to pay the price, remain commitment, disciplined, and sacrifice for them to achieve this utopian money. If you know very well for you to earn, say, 300,000 in a month, you have to do X, Y, Z. You have to start a business. You have to invest your cash, and you're not doing it. Then there is no way you expect to earn that amount of money if you do not commit yourself towards that particular thing. By the way, we're gonna spend a lot of time on this utopian money because this is mostly what you call your dream cash. You say, hey, I want to retire with 300,000 in a month. I want to retire with 200,000. I want to retire with X amount of money. This is what we call the utopian money. Once you have that utopian cash, then come to your present. Ask yourself, what do I have as of now? What am I starting with? How much is my salary? How much is my expenses? Do I have an emergency fund? Do I have some investment that I'm going to commit myself? Then how much do I need to save to invest for me to achieve this quote-unquote utopian money? And this probably is what you guys call mostly the financial freedom, whereby you don't have to worry about money. Though you are thinking about the money, but you're not worrying about the money. So you have to understand the difference between those two terms so that at least you know what is a utopian money. Be very careful. You can just have an utopian, and sometimes you can have this utopian money and you're not even realistic to yourself. It's like you're earning 20,000 and you're looking forward into saving $1 million in a year. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible to save $1 million within a year if you want 20,000, but practically, financially, economically, that may be a bit tricky unless something can happen in between. We cannot limit the expectations or what should I say, the happenings of this life, because it's very unexpected. Just things very unpredictable. Are we together? So the utopian cash or the utopian money, that is the money number 2. We go to the money number 3. And the money number 3 is quite interesting. Why? Because the money number 3 usually have its own characteristics. And once I share with you, you'll actually be interested and see, oh my goodness, I didn't see it from that perspective. And the money number 3 is actually the P money. Now, what is P money? P money, this is what we call the baby money. The baby money, or commonly known as the passive income. Passive income, it's sort of a combination of two things at the same time. You can earn passive income actively. What did I even say? For example, let's say you have some cash somewhere, okay? And then there is an opportunity that has come. You can be able to buy these pens. Let's say you have 1,000,000 or you have 100,000. You buy these pens worth of 100,000, then you resell it worth, say, 120,000. So you've made yourself a passive of 20,000, but you have been involved. Are we together? Let's say you're doing what we call, now that's what we call the capital gain. Let's say you are getting yourself into business. You're buying things either by importation, then you're reselling them, but of course at a higher cash, that is at a profit. Then whatever you're making, it's a cash. Because basically by virtue of you buying this, then you resell it, you're making cash. That is what called the passive income. But it's a passive income achieved through the active means. Though not a fully active means like being employed, but at least there is you being involved in that cash. And what you're supposed to understand when it comes to passive income, we can have another set of passive income whereby you totally don't have to do anything. Money literally works for you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to call anybody. You don't have to engage in anything. Just money is working for you out there. Still, that is a passive income. They have two classes of passive income. We have the class A and the class B. Class A is where you realize that you must be involved a little bit into that, you earning that amount of money. You're buying a product, you're reselling it to make a capital gain. It's a passive income because you didn't trade your time, but you are involved. Let's say you open a business, you show up to your place, you have some workers there, you check what they are doing. Maybe let's say you don't have systems to fully work or automate everything. You have to be there, you have to check what they are doing. Yeah, you're earning passive income, but there is an element of you being there. You have to show up. And then we have the class B of the passive income, where now we go to the fourth type of money, where we call it the R money. Are we together? The R money. But before I talk about the R money, let me spend a little bit of time on the P money, that is the passive money. The passive money here, for you to earn it, definitely you have to speak the language of investment. You have to start a business, you have to invest. And the moment you reach to this particular class, passive money, by virtue of you investing, is where now you want to actualize your utopian money. Are we together? Can you imagine just seated somewhere earning the equivalent of money that you earn from your salary? Truly, that is an utopian money. I mean, that's a miracle. Are we together? So the way you achieve the utopian money is by finding a way to make sure that you do what? You create the utopian cash. Are we together? So the P money, you achieve it by investment. You have to commit yourself to savings. You have to commit yourself towards things that you call organizing your finances and what have you. Then, when you now understand the concept of the P money, when the money allows, for example, let me ask a very simple question. Say if you have like 1,000,000, you can really get into the real estate business. You can indirectly, you can barely scratch the surface, but truly the real estate investment, you need to have a good cash because it's a capital intensive. So what you do, the moment you acquire a lot of money here on this particular P money, when you're doing your business, cash flow is doing good, you're getting profit and more profit and more profit, then this is where now you fully automate your money to work for you. This is when you can get into the real estate. This is when you can get into the bills, bonds, MMF, balance fund, equity fund, ETFs, index funds. You can get into all those. Are we together? Now, when you get into that money that now you don't have to do anything, that is the class B of the passive income, is what we call the R money. Simply means residual money, or the residual income. Okay, now the residual income, this is where you fully step aside. You just look at it. For example, right now as I speak, I have a money market fund. It is just doing its own thing there. I have not called anybody. I have not followed up anything. It is not deterring me from making this particular video. They are separate. It's like I'm buying some time there. You know, I have sometimes there's some quote unquote, another hand is making money from that particular end. And right now I'm also making this video and such kind of a thing. You understand? Okay. Now, that kind of a cash where you fully automate things that are working for you, we call it the residual income. And that is what we call the R money. And this is the ultimate wealth. This is the ultimate wealth. This is where your life now will be good. You can be able to pursue your dreams. You can be able to travel the world. You can be able to do the things that you love most because you don't have to worry them. Let's say you love to help people. You can't be able to help people if you have not even gotten your house in order as far as the finances are concerned. So when you understand these classes of money, how they move, then you'll be so good because you'll know what to get, when, and how to get it, and such kind of things. That is it, guys. And if you'd like to get my services in one way or the other forever, don't forget my number is always on the description on this particular video. As long as the God wishes us to have a discussion, we're gonna be having it. Are we together? This is Good Joseph. Don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe. And for now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.